Hello everyone. Today is a special day of year for all movie collectors, as it is twice a year every year. It is the opening day of the Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale, and we weren't sure if it was going to happen this year, what with everything going on, but it is indeed happening. So I'm here at my local store, and I'm going to go inside and see what I can find on this special pandemic edition of the Criterion sale. Still relatively the same setup as before, as many of you have seen my last video that I did a year ago. Let's see what we have. So I just got out of the sale and I picked up 5 things. But before I get into that, as you saw in there, and if you're familiar with the videos I've done, last July it was the same exact setup. It did seem like there were more titles this time, but I think it's just because they used to have a side table and they used to have a new release section that had a few Criterion titles, and now they've gotten rid of those. I think they just put them, in the main kind of shelving unit there. Unfortunately, they didn't have some of the newer stuff that I was looking for. I was looking for like War of the Worlds, Destiny Rides Again. They didn't have any of those, but there was a couple of titles that I was really looking forward to getting, and I was able to get those. And first up here is one that I really, really wanted in the collection. This is an astounding, amazing film, and this is Cold War. This is an amazingly stunning movie, just breathtaking. It's done by Paweł Pawlikowski, just a fantastic Polish, I believe, filmmaker. If you're familiar with this film, Ida, that he did a few years ago, that film's also incredible. I wish that would get a Criterion release. There's still a regular Blu-ray of that kicking around. But next up, I got a Blu-ray upgrade because I had this on DVD, and of course, as always, they decided to release a Blu-ray edition, and this is Holiday, starring two of my favorites, Katharine Hepburn as well as Cary Grant. This is a fantastic film by George Cukor. If you're not familiar with George Cukor's work, I'm pretty sure you've seen his movies, so look up George Cukor if you haven't already. But yeah, this is Holiday. This is another one that I was really looking forward to getting, and luckily they had 2 copies. Next up is a movie I don't have, but I have seen, and this is Leave Her to Heaven. This is an amazing, fantastic film noir. Unfortunately, this edition doesn't have much of anything in the way of special features. There's only a new interview with critic Imogen Sarah Smith, but we did get a new 2K digital restoration, so the movie is going to look fantastic. But man, I really wish they had put more special features on it, especially for the price. Next up is kind of a Blu-ray to Blu-ray upgrade, and this is, of course, Grand Budapest Hotel, which is a film by Wes Anderson. What ends up happening is that his films get regular Blu-ray and DVD releases, and then years later, Criterion comes out with their edition because I believe Wes Anderson has some type of exclusive deal with Criterion, or whichever company puts out his movies. They always end up through Criterion, so Isle of Dogs will eventually get a Criterion release, which is the film he did after this. And lastly, but definitely not least, is Roma, Alfonso Cuarón's film from a few years ago, and this was my favorite film the year it came out. A beautiful, gorgeous, sumptuous movie, shot in black and white, and yeah, this is just a loaded edition with so many special features. As you can see, it's a digipack, so it's a larger packaging, and they had quite a few copies of this if you saw on the shelf. So I'm really excited to come back and get some more stuff that I didn't get. Also, there's a couple of new releases that are coming out this month that I can't wait to get my hands on, specifically Taste of Cherry by the late Abbas Kiarostami. So yeah, look forward to all of those vids coming up. But yeah, this was the first day of the July 2020 Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale, Pandemic Edition. Hopefully you like the footage I got, and if you like this video, please check out the other videos I have on my channel and subscribe.